Right, okay. What we can do then is let's take, actually, I really like the look of this ice cream one. So let's bring this one in here and we're going to open this one up. So what you can see is we have got the stamp set just here. So if we then, where's my white card, which is here. So if we bring that in for you to see. So you can see here, this is where you've got your ice cream cone and that there. Then you've also got the actual texture of the ice cream cone. This is where you do the layering. Then what you've got is you've got the top of your ice creams, but these can also be the top of your cupcakes. So you've got the wee cupcakes and that as well. You've got You're a Cool Friend, You're So Cool. Then you've got Celebrate, and then you've also got Let's Eat Cake. So what you can do is, you can see with these shapes here, even with these ones here, do you know what it's like? It's kind of a bit like the Bermuda Triangle shape when it comes to these ones here. These ones just there, you've got that sort of shape. You just imagine, not that obviously you want anyone to disappear, but you've got that shape to it as well with the triangles on there. So have a mix, have a play, use the dies on their own, use the stamps on their own, but of course they work perfectly together. What you'll also see, just if you are quite new to our stamping dies, you will just see we've got just these wee parts here in the corners that says 1, 2, 3. This enables you to do the layering. Now this is why I wanted to show you our stamping platform and that beforehand, because we can bring these in and then we can start to layer these up. So this is where your quick dry ink pads work perfectly, because it enables you to stamp and layer on top of each other really, really quickly. Let's take a couple of different shades. So what we're going to do for this one, let's just take the Sandstorm, and then we're also just going to take the I can never say that, we're going to take this shade of brown, and then what we're then going to do is layer and line this up. So you can see here where we've got, we can't quite see it on that one, can we? I'm not sure if black or white will work, but I don't know, you definitely can't see it with the black, can we? Can we see the white? There we go. Can you see now? Let me just take my wee pokey tool. Can you see how on the stamp set we've got this wee corner? So what we're then going to do is we're then just going to match this up to one corner. So this is where the grids work perfectly together. So I'm just going to choose this one here, like this. So I've just gone and chosen this grid here in the corner. I know it's not easy for you to see just there, but I'm just choosing this grid just here. Taking our white card again and taking our stamping mat, and then we're going to take the lighter one first. So we're going to use the Sandstorm, and then what we're then just going to do is we're just going to add that ink on just like that. Then what we're going to do is, obviously I can make more use of this space, but just for the time for Facebook, I'm then just going to marry up the corner of my stamping platform with the corner of my ink pad, and then we're just, or stamping platform, we're just going to stamp just like that. Then we can see we start to get that cone just coming through there. So then what we're going to do, if we pop that one back, and I am just going to take my wipe, and I'm just going to give that just a wee bit of a wipe before we move on. Then what we're then going to do is we're going to take this next one, which was number 2, and then I'm going to set this in exactly the same position as I had the last one. Then I'm going to take this different shade of brown. So this is a darker shade. And then what we're then just going to do is we're then just going to ink that up. Then again, what I'm going to do is just the corner of the paper and the stamping platform, I'm going to marry that up. And then what I'm going to do, I'm not sure if you want to have a look at me straight on because I'm a way to stick my head in the way. There we go. And then what I'm just going to do is lean over, look down, and then I'm just going to stamp. There we go, we can see perfectly just there. Look at that. Can you see now, if I bring that in closer, look at that shadow, and how cool is that? That really, really is smart, that one there. So that's just starting off with the cone there. Then what we can do, start to build upon that. So we're then just going to take this one off and place that one on. Then we can then start to choose some of the other ones here. So because we've already started with the actual cone of the ice cream, I'm going to carry on. So we've got now for the top of the ice cream, we've got these 3 different options just there. So what we've got here is we've got the darker full-on background, we've got the next one with a wee bit more detail, and the next one with a bit more less detail on it. So that's going to be a light colour, that's going to be a mid, and then that's going to be a real dark colour there, so you get all that detail. So what we can do, so let's just take that first one off, then move these out the way, and then I think for the ice cream, my favourite, and it's really hard to get just on its own, is just pure strawberry ice cream. So we will go for, let's go for the pink tulip, we'll go for the fuchsia, and then we'll also go for the plum jam. So this will be a real in-your-face kind of strawberry ice cream, but it will be good. So what we can do again, I'm then just going to pop this just the way that I had the last ones before. So I think for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop just in this corner here, and I'm just going to pop this down. So because this is the full-on background here, what I'm going to do is we're going to use the lightest colour, and then I'm just going to add that on, just like that. Then I'm going to turn this around. Then what I'm going to do again, so I'm just using the guides of my platform and that cardstock just for you to see. So we're just going to lean over and we're just going to stamp that again. There we go, over it to the side. Then what I'm just going to do is lean over, press just like that, so we can see we've now got how that's starting to come together. It looks quite nice on its own. So we've got that one there. So let's remove this one. Let's take layer number 2. So again, what we're then going to do is remove this, popping it in exactly the same place, just like that. Then we will pop these ones back. So now this is the mid layer, so we're going to go for the mid colour, and we're just going to stamp these. Now this is one of the colours that will potentially ink and stain your stamp. Don't worry, it will still work perfectly just after. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my head in the way, and then I'm just going to lean over, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up the corners there, and making sure that they are just lined up. And then what I'm going to do is once I'm happy that they're lined up, I'm then going to press down, and we can see, now see that detail coming together. Look at that. So we've got, look at all that detail just there. We're not finished just yet. We've got a third layer, so you can just leave it like that if you want. Here we go, there's a prime example on this one here. You can see that that has stained my ink pad. You can see that just there. That has stained it. That will still work perfectly every single time. Don't worry about it staining. It's just the nature of the quick dry ink pads. So there we go. So if we then just bring in the final layer just here, then what we're going to do again, we're just going to place that in place where I've had the other ones. And then we're just going to stamp the final layer, which is the darker layer. And then we're going to bring this one in. Once again, I'm going to place my head in the way, and then you'll be able to see just from the corner, just shortly, you'll see how, there we go. There we go. And then we're just going to line these up once again, just out the corner there. And once I'm happy with where I am lined up, I'm then just going to press into place like that. Now look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely incredible? It actually looks so nice and so real to eat. There we go. So there is that one. So that's how you can use them on their own. But what you could do as well is, let's just take this one off. Again, as you can see from this one here, it has stained it. It's absolutely fine. It will continue to work time and time again. Then what we can do is if we then take, I'll show you the dies. So what we can do is if you want to do separate layers, you can then die cut them individually if you want. So you can keep them like that as one, maybe use your nesting die, over the top. I've got mine to the side here, so if I just take this one to show you. So what you could do is take your nesting die. That could be just a nice topper on its own, die cut that out, then yeah, you don't need much at all. Or what you can do is come along and die cut them separately and then start to layer them up using your 3D foam pads. So what we'll do is we'll not die cut that one. I will just stamp, I won't do the layering, but I will just stamp just a couple of them just so that you can see the idea as to how you can die cut them. And if I just take just a bit of blue roll and let's just dry that off, and then let's just take that one, and then let's just take that one, and then what we can do is we'll just choose a completely different color for the sake of it. There we go. Let's stamp these like this, and then what we can do, just stamp these in place towards the bottom. Now this is where you would do your layering techniques that I've just shown you just a moment ago, and then you can die cut them after. So we'll just do it just with this one colour. The colour doesn't mean anything, I'm only doing it so I can show you what they're like once you die cut. So there we go. So if we bring this one out there, so this is the one that we've stamped. Now look at that, just as a topper on its own. So just as a topper, you know, bringing in the next size up just with another colour that matches, then there we go. You don't need much at all, just the sentiment that actually comes in on your actual stamping mat. You've got your, what have you got on them? You've got Celebrate, You're a Cool Friend, as well as a few others. So there we go. So that's the idea of how the layering stamps work. Then you've also got stamp them like I have just done there, and then what you can do, use the matching dies to die cut them. So if you wanted to do multiple different layers, again, I've only chosen this color just to show you how you can use your dies, but then you can be doing them exactly like how I've done that one, but then just layer them up as well like that. You can be doing all that. Or why not, you don't have to stamp them. Why not use your pattern papers or your texture cardstocks or that? You can be doing all these as well. So many different things that you can be doing when it comes to your stamps as well as your dies.